Now we move to an important part in a solar system. I always like to talk about this module is the heart and the inverter is the brain. So the next presentation is about intelligent solar power plant operations, string inverters for high yields in the long run. And the presenter will be Laurent Bodin, who's a solar manager, large-scale projects and utility segments, EMEA at Goodwe. Laurent.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So we talk a lot about muscles, bones, I will say, and now perhaps it's time to talk a little bit about the brain and the heart of the system. So thank you for your warm welcome, Michael, and I will try to share my presentation. Okay, can you see it?
Not yet.
All right.
Just have to move to a presentation mode. Perfect.
You can see it now?
All good.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would like to talk a little bit about Goodwe in the first approach, just to introduce the company, and then I will try to do it fast to the solution offered per Goodwe for optimizing the power generation. So about Goodwe, we are a family of 4,000 people, more than 4,000 people. 800 people are employed only for R&D, which is 20% of the number of people of the company. And also we have 150 people overseas, which should increase to 200. Basically, we are growing a lot at this moment. We are a Chinese company based in Suzhou in China, close to Shanghai, and our headquarters in EMEA is based in Munich in Germany. Important thing to know here, and it's a part also of the sustainability of the system and of our offer as well. Goodwe is a listed company, means that we are totally transparent, and also the second point, which is really important here again, 11% of our turnover is invested in R&D, means that today we are probably the inverters manufacturers investing the most in the R&D at this moment, and mainly in digitalization of the system, which is probably the challenge for us today. About our presence, we are, as I said, global. We are everywhere in the world, mainly in the Europe, as you can see, but also in East Asia and in the US and South of America. We have offices and a branch everywhere because as well, to have a good brain, we need to have a good after sales and support for our customer, and pre-sales also support to help to design and optimize the installation. So here, this is probably one of the most important points for us as well. Even though we are not talking about the technical approach, bankability is really important. Bankability doesn't mean that we are profitable. For sure we are, because we are investing a lot. But this means also that the production you will buy to Goodwe will be profitable also for you as well. And profitable, what does that mean for investors? That means that it is sustainable on a long time. So in 2021, Bloomberg decided that Goodwe is a most bankable company amongst inverters manufacturers. As well, we are talking about money, but also we are talking about quality. And here as well, we have been awarded many times by many famous third-party company which awarded us. And for example, we have been a UPD top brand 5 consecutive years. 5 consecutive years, it's a lot. And so again, basically, and to summarize a little bit what you need to keep in mind about Goodwe company, we are listed, mean transparent, we are bankable, and we have high quality recognition on the market. Let's go to our topic of the day and the solution we are offering to the market today. So Goodwe is offering an overall solution and very simple and very easy to understand. The PV modules are connected to the inverters connected to the medium voltage station, and then medium voltage station are connected at each other to the data logger with the fiber cycle system, which can connect all the communication box at each other to optimize the monitoring of the plant. It's a very easy installation, very classical, and always to try to optimize the communication between the different elements, between the brain, I would say, and the muscles to optimize the production of electricity. So let's talk a little bit about LCOE. I know that we already mentioned in previous presentation, but here it's important for you to have our view about that. What LCOE is made of? It is made of CAPEX, OPEX, and power generation. It's clear today that the market, inverter market, decided to go to string inverter. Why? Why? It's because it's really recognized by all the actors of the PV market that string inverters can lower the BOS and as well can lower the OEM compared to central inverters. As it is said, where can we operate to decrease the LCOE? It's clear that the only way now to decrease is to go to the power generation action. This is where the inverter can operate. You can have big muscles and bigger. That's what the modules manufacturers are doing today. They are increasing the efficiency. But if you have a small brain, a lot of energy will be lost in the nature, I will say, and cannot be optimized. And this is really the challenge for us as inverter manufacturer to find the best way to optimize this production. So how can we optimize the muscle using Goodwe HT series 250 kilowatts? So it's just a little joke, but yes, this is our philosophy today. So what is our inverter? HT series 250. This is 2 string per MPTT or 3 string per MPTT, depending on which inverter will use the 15 amps or 20 amps per string inverters. We have a PLC communication cable. These inverters can support 400 square millimeters diameter AC cable. IV scan diagnostic. I will come back to it in the presentation as it is a very important point as well for safe cost in OEM. And we have as well a string current monitoring. Our efficiency, European efficiency is 98.5%, very high, IP66, and also what the modules manufacturers know very well, the PID solution. So in terms of products, we are offering 2 options. The ones is GW250K. and the second one is the GW250KN. So it depends on which modules you will use and what will be the maximum amps you will use per string. So if you have more than 15 amps per string, you probably use the GW250KN, and if you have less, probably you will use the GW250K. But what happens if you have 15.5 amps? I will say here we have a very professional and dedicated team, technical team, which can help you in such case to support you for the design, and don't hesitate here to contact us to have this support. So let's go now to which characteristic we have who can support us to optimize the production of electricity and the power generation, which is really the topic of today. So for our KN series, we don't need any fuse. We have a DC fuse, automatic DC fuse, which can help us to avoid this OEM action to replace the fuse. And this is really something not very important, but it's a part of, again, reducing the cost and reduce the human action on the plant. Here we are probably at the most important part of what inverter can do to maximize the power generation. It's clear that on the MPPT topology, when it arrives on the market, it has been a very large revolution, particularly on the large-scale installation and utility market, because it has been a way really to optimize the collection of the power, if I may say, generation for the PV plant. And here there is really a simple rule to understand, and this is really the key of the success. You need to have, for inverter, a maximum of MPPT for a minimum of MPPT per string. I will repeat it again. So you need to have a maximum MPPT for inverters for a minimum of string per MPPT. That's really the key of the success, and more particularly for bifacial modules, because we know that the bifacial phase of the modules production is really not stable. And if you have, I would say, 10 string, 15, 100 string with only one MPPT, for sure your installation will not be optimized. If you have only 2 string per MPPT, this is really the only way to optimize your power generation here with a string inverter. Here, the second point and unique point that Goodwe is offering to the market. We talk about the temperature, and you see that also for module supplier, the temperature is a very important point. For inverter manufacturers, this is also the same. And today, Goodwe is the only one by its original design able to offering a derating temperature at 40 degrees. 40 degrees means that between -30 and +40 degrees, you will have the full production of 250 kilowatts. This is unique. This is really we are really the only one offering that on the market. What does that mean in terms of LCOE? We can this way reduce the capex here, because we don't need to have additional material to refresh the installation, to have to optimize the power generation. Also, this means that if we can support higher temperature, we are more sustainable. So in terms of OEM, you will have for sure less work as well. So we can save money here on OPEX and CAPEX and increase the power generation. So we are operate on the three components of the LCOE here as well, only on this point of temperature rating. So this is really the key point. So about overall communication we have. So here we have a system, again, as a global system, which is really simple. The grid is connected to the Modbus RTE, to our SCU 300, and the SCU 300 is connected to the grid operator through Modbus TCP as well, with RS485 cables, very simple to handle, very simple to operate, very fast communication, and we can have more protocols of communication. So we are very flexible here. PID. So PID also is a very important point here, and for sure, modules manufacturer with this PERC modules worked a lot about that, about anti-PID offer, the PID-free offer, but we know that we have always this issue on site. Probably with the new generation of cells, module cells, it will happen less and less, I think. But the advantage of our offer, inverter offer, is that we can offer a solution for PID case, and again, to optimize the power generation of the system with two options. So we have PID recovery working only during the night, or anti-PID solution working day and night. It will really depend about the engineering office, which will decide, depending on the local condition, which is the best, which solution is the best, and we can offer both. But it is integrated solution, and again, it is OEM safe here, because you don't need to go back to the plant to install special box for that. Yes, a very important point to see here that we can also offer IV scan diagnostic. And in the past, most of people had to use a third-party company to do that diagnostic on site, means OEM cost and takes time, and with relatively not reliable data. Here now, with the digitalization, and again, as the inverter became more and more the brain of the installation, you can have with one click on your phone an overview about the monitoring of your installation and the IV scan diagnostic directly. I mean that you have the standard IV curve and the real IV curve. And in our inverter, as I said, it is a smart installation. You can have an overview about what is the cause of the difference between the standard IV curve and the normal one and the measured one. And you can see if it is a micro crack issues, shadows issue, glass breakage, and other things. So I mean that it's really important, and this is really something we are developing more and more in inverter development. So as well, we have our digital operators measurement and visualization of our system monitoring, and it's very simple. It's a children game, and our customer like it a lot. It's really clear. So now we are also offering medium voltage station. So it's a 20 cube container offer. It's really simple. And here our proposal and our strategy, again, to optimize the installation and also the power production and minimizing here as maximum as possible the capex is the 7 MVA. This is really what we are offering, and we are advising to our customer. Nevertheless, depending on some location and land situation, we can also offer 3.5 MVA or 5 MVA. This is really depending on the customer demand, but here, regarding our experience, 7 MVA is really the best components we can offer and the more adapted to the market today. This is really what it looks. And now let's talk a little bit about the future. I didn't mention...
We're really running out of time. Can you conclude? So maybe 1 more minute.
Yeah, I will do so. So yes, to go directly to the conclusion, I will say that today the market for string inverter series is moving to higher power production, 350. We have still a huge demand for 250 because everybody knows it. It's optimized. We can generate more power, and it's really the market today. Again, if I just need to leave one message, keep in mind that the most important at this moment is to have maximum of MPPT for minimum string with 1 MPPT. This is really the way to optimize and to provide the more power generation to the grid. And this is all from my side.
Thanks, Laurent. That was very insightful. I think there are questions in the chat. Can you, if you have time, that would be nice if you could answer them there, and then we can